Hey guys, Marissa here from the Neon Tea Party. In today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to make a candy stripe friendship bracelet. So candy stripe is this classic diagonal stripe friendship bracelet pattern. You may have seen it before, and it's really the first pattern that you're going to want to learn when you're learning how to make friendship bracelets. It's super simple. You could see here, this bracelet has little seashells on it too, so you can always embellish your bracelet after, but today I'm just going to show you how to make this basic candy stripe pattern. So you're going to need a few supplies. You're going to need Omega Krill yarn or embroidery floss. I love Omega Krill because the colors are so gorgeous and the texture is more matte than embroidery floss. I also find that it just knots up really beautifully. You could see some more samples on my wrist here, it's just the best. So you're also going to need a little scissor. This is our little Fiskars travel scissor, folds up so you can take your little friendship bracelet kit on the go. You're going to need a tape measure to cut your yarn for making your friendship bracelet. And then you're going to need either a safety pin or washi tape to hold down your yarn or string. If you're working on a fabric surface or you want to be able to attach your string to like your pajama pants or a pillow, cozy up to make friendship bracelets, you're going to want a little safety pin also to undo any knots that might come up that might be incorrect. If you need to go back and fix anything, having the little safety pin is always really handy. Or you'll want washi tape if you are working on a hard surface such as a table, just to tape your string down. This is MT brand. It's the best washi tape. So all of these supplies come in our friendship bracelet kit, which is available at theneonteaparty.com/shop. And everything's also available individually. You can also get the Omega Krill in individual skeins. We have tons of colors, so you can either pick up the kit that has everything all included or pick out your own colors and get everything sort of a la carte. So that's it for supplies. I have the yarn, the Omega Krill yarn pre-cut here to 36 inches, which is the first step here, is to just cut your yarn down to 36 inches. You can either use, for this pattern, you can either use the single 3-ply strand. So the Omega Krill comes, it's actually this 3-ply, really thin yarn. And you could either use a 3-ply strand or you can double up to 3-ply strands to have a 6-ply for each color. So the sample here is made with the single 3-ply strands, but I'm going to show you guys with the 6-ply doubled up. It's just a little bit easier to see and goes a little bit faster. I call this method thicker, quicker. And then you could pick out as many colors as you like. I recommend choosing at least 3 colors, and then you can go crazy with as many colors as you like. I tend to pick out about 5 or 6 for a bracelet. But if you want a really wide bracelet, you can pick out more. So I've picked out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors here. So we have strong pink, mandarin, neon yellow, water blue, and lilac. And so they're all cut to the same length, 36 inches. And we're gonna start just by tying a little knot at the top, just an overhand knot, all of the strands together at once. And you could just bring this knot all the way as close to the top as you can. And what we're going to do is we're going to braid our yarn to start. So what I like to do, as you can see on my wrist here, is have the ends braided, it just makes it really easy to take on and off your bracelet. So I always like to take my bracelets off at the end of the day, before I get in the shower, before I exercise. They do get dirty, so if you're able to take them off for those parts of your day and for sleep, you'll just be able to enjoy your friendship bracelet a lot longer. And you can see, I'll kind of show you how I tie it on my own wrist, just using my fingers here to catch it, and it just goes on really easy. So it's easiest if you make a knot at the top to start, and then I'm working over fabric. This is my little tablecloth here, so you're going to want to pin it down. I recommend pinning the fabric first. You're just going to want to catch a little bit of fabric and then put your pin through the knot. Come on, watch your finger. And then pin it back onto the fabric. And that will just give you a nice flat lay here. Let's cut this little guy off. This will just give you a nice flat lay so you can see what you're doing. I'm gonna see if I should bring this up a little bit more. Yeah, I'm gonna bring this up a little bit more so it's easier for you guys to see, because we're gonna be working down on this friendship bracelet here. So again, I also do this when, you know, I'm sitting on the couch with my little friendship bracelet situation, and I'll pin my friendship bracelet to my pajama pants or jeans, or throw a pillow on my lap, and it's just a nice way to cozy up. So once you have your knot secured to your fabric, you can separate your strands however you like. As I said, we're going to just start with a simple braid, so you might be a little tangled at the bottom. Cool. And you're just going to braid down about 2 inches. Once you have about 2 inches of braid, now you're going to tie another overhand knot to secure your braid in place. You don't have to do this step, but I definitely recommend it. Sometimes I'll actually just make the knot here and then undo it later. But I find this little process here, knot, braid, knot, is really just the best way to go. All right, so now we are set up with our little braided tie. And so the next step is we're going to separate our colors and set up our pattern. So you're just going to want to make sure that all of the same color strands are grouped together. Sometimes you're going to have to do a little bit of rearranging. The neater that everything is separated at the top, the easier it's going to be when you knot up your first row. So should we do this rainbow or not rainbow? Let's do not rainbow. Okay, that looks cool. All right, so once you have all of your strands separated, we are going to, you could start on either the left or the right. I generally always start on the left, just out of habit. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to start with our leftmost strand, and we're going to be tying it around each of the colors 2 times until the starting color ends up traveling all the way from the left all the way to the right. And then we'll just repeat by starting with the next strand that's on the left, tying it around all of the strands until it makes it all the way to the right. So that's the candy stripe pattern. I'm going to show you guys how to do a forwards knot, which is the knot that you'll use for making friendship bracelets. So you're going to want to start by taking the color that you're working with. So we're going to call this the working strands. And then these will be the filler strands. So the filler strands are what are going to go on the inside of the knot. So we're going to take our working strands and we're going to place it over the filler strands, making this number 4 shape. And you're just going to want to loop it around and pull it through the space on the left. And now here's my first tip for you. Always keep your filler strand straight. So you see how I'm holding it nice and taut so it can't get wrapped up in the knot here? We're essentially just knotting around this straight strand, and you're going to pull it all the way up to the top. And so you see how that went all the way up to meet the big knot up here. So we're going to do that one more time. Make the number 4, yellow over purple, go behind the purple, and through the loop on the left, keeping the purple really straight and pulling your knot all the way up to the top. Now you're going to move the purple over to the left, and yellow is ready to go around the orange. So as you just saw, a friendship bracelet knot is really 2 knots together. So we're going to do the same thing around the orange here. So we're going to take our yellow working strands, we're going to lay them on top of the orange in the number 4, bring them under and through the loop on the left. Orange is nice and straight. You want to keep your other strands off to the side and pull up to tighten all the way to the top. And you want to make sure to give a really nice snug pull here. Something that tends to happen is when you're changing colors, if you don't pull that first knot nice and tight, you're going to see gaps between your knots. And if you want your knots to be really snug next to one another, just make sure that when you're tightening that first of the 2 knots, make sure you make it nice and snug. All right, so we've gone around. Let me back up. Make the 4 over the orange, tuck it behind the orange, through the loop on the left. Keep your orange straight, pull up, make it nice and tight. All right, so we're done with 2 on the orange. Now it's time for 2 on the pink. Make your 4, go behind the pink, through the loop on the left, keep pink straight, pull up yellow, nice and tight, make a 4 again, behind the pink, through the loop on the left, and pull up. All right, time for our last one. Going to make number 4 over our blue, behind and through the loop on the left. Keep blue straight, pull up yellow. We're going to make that 4 again, behind the blue, through, and up. Now your first row is always going to be a little wonky. So you can see here that it's just doesn't look the most beautiful, but that's okay. Definitely don't be discouraged. I find that the first row always looks a little funky because your colors are just getting situated in place. So you're going to see on the next row that it looks a lot neater. So the yellow has traveled from the left all the way to the right, and now we're going to start with the purple on the left. So I'm going to do this a little bit faster. Make the 4 around the orange, behind, pull up, whoop. Four, behind, and up. I tend to like hold my other, like the other strands that aren't doing anything at the moment. I sort of pinch them. You're gonna find the more that you make friendship bracelets that you have these weird motor skills things happening. But it helps to just let your fingers come up with these little tricks to just sort of stabilize your string and really help you get these tight knots. So you can already see that this next row is a lot neater than the first row. See, that first one got a little chunky. So the purple traveled all the way from left to right. It's over on the right hand side again. And I'm just gonna talk through this next row one more time to make sure that you're getting the knot down. But this is basically the pattern. You just keep going until your friendship bracelet is as long as you need it. All right, so you're making a 4, orange over pink, behind and through, keep pink straight, pull up on orange, your second knot, 4 on top of pink, behind, ooh, and through on the left. Got a little carried away there. Pull up, tighten. All right, pink goes to the left, onto the next color. Orange goes around blue. Pull up, make a 4. Your second time around, go up. 4 on top of yellow, behind the yellow, through the loop and up. One more time, 4, behind, through, up, 4, behind, through, and up. Do it one more time, 4, behind, through, and up. All right, so this is a pretty skinny friendship bracelet. As you can see, it's coming together. The more colors that you use, which I already mentioned, the wider your friendship bracelet is going to be. So feel free to experiment and find that thickness that really suits you. So you can see here, this is the 5 colors doubled up for thicker, quicker style. But if we did a 6th color, a 7th color, you'd find that the bracelet got a lot wider. So we're just going to speed up so you can see a little bit of this come together. Knotted up as many rows as I need for my friendship bracelet, measured it around my wrist so I know it's long enough. And I'm just going to show you how to finish it off the same way we started. So you're going to just tie one big overhand knot and just pull slowly so that it ends up right at the bottom of your pattern. I like to sort of pull up on the knot with one hand and pull down on the interior strands with the other until it gets to exactly where I want it. Give it a nice tight tug, and then you can just braid bottom again, about 2 inches. And as you're braiding, you can sort of like bring it up to match it up with the braid at the top to make it the same length. So we'll just do a quick little braid here. Okay, I'm matching it up at the top here, about the same length, awesome. So just tie another knot. Pull up on it to have it hit right at the bottom of the braid. Pull it tight. Then you can take off your bracelet and whoop, just match up the knots at the bottom to cut them, the little fringy ends, to be even. And there you have your candy stripe bracelet, which looks equally good on either side. So this is the knot side, which is a little more textured, and then the back side is nice and smooth. I actually generally like the knot side better when making friendship bracelets, but candy stripe is the one pattern that I tend to actually prefer this side here. So you can see our beautiful candy stripe pattern, and I'm just gonna add it right to my stack here. We have our little braids tied together. Boop. And there we go. And that's how to make a candy stripe friendship bracelet. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the Neon Tea Party's YouTube channel and check out our other friendship bracelet tutorials.